Cheese. We are live. Hello, hello, and happy Thursday. My name is Davonne Reaves, also known as the Queen of Hotels, and I'm here with my girl Ange. She go by Ange. I know you may see Angela, but she go by Ange. She had to let me know that the other day. So Ange Matthews, probably one of the smartest investors that I know, and her company is called Happy Investor Method. And so we met probably about 3 years ago, and we stayed connected ever since. We're both Geminis, so Gemini season is coming up. I feel like it's Gemini season all year because when you're a Gemini, you let everybody know, hey, that we are the best that was ever created. But yes. So again, my name is Davonne Reaves, and my goal is to come to you all on a consistent basis, giving you information, giving you the knowledge, so that way you can create your empire. Because I am in my empire season right now, my empire era, and I want you to be in this empire era with me. So, Ange, please let the world know who you are.
So, first things first, thanks for having me here, Davonne. I know that talking about finances and money is a little wishy-washy right now with everything that's happening. Yet, for those of us who are hungry, we're always going to be hungry. We're always going to be hungry for information. We're always going to be hungry for change. We're always going to be hungry for us to get to our happiest, healthiest, wealthiest place. So if that is you, please keep watching. Please keep listening. If this is not you, if you're the person who's like, yeah, I'm comfortable. I don't need any more money. I'm kind of good right now. Like, I'm good forever. I think everything is just always forever going to be okay. And I can't even get any more money at all. And I have to work really, really, really hard for everything. Then investing as a conversation is probably not going to work for you because that's what investing is all about. It is about letting the money do the hard work. So if you're ready to build your empire, if you're ready to do all this stuff, then sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. So I'm Ange, and I'm the founder of the Happy Investor Method. And what we did was we set out on a bold task to create a company dedicated to people being wildly successful with investments and actually being happy. Now, this is crazy because a lot of people think that once you're wealthy, you become unhappy or that you have to be mean with money. And that's just not true. And so, yeah, that's what I do. And that's what the company does. And we serve people in building millions.
All right. So, how did you? We actually have an upcoming webinar on April 21st, where Ange is going to be bringing. I let her handle that stuff, where she talks more about the passive investment role. I talk more about the active investment role. But I think it's and she's helping me with my game because I'm not the best when it comes to investing at stocks. That's just not my jam. So she's helping me, even though I haven't been doing my homework. And now, since with all the activity going on in the stock market, I was like, okay, let me step it up, right? Really, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because I have mutual funds and I have a 529 plan for my son, so I'm not that bad. Let me, I do a little something, but I could be doing better. I always try to strive for the best. And so, and how did you get into passive investing? Like, tell us your story.
So for me, when I started investing, I was actually working in a 9 to 5 that just was not fulfilling. And at the time, you couldn't even say that out loud because everyone just expected you to suck it up. So I was having a lot of mental anxiety. I would be crying in the stairwell, crying in the bathroom. And I just got so frustrated one day. I asked them for a raise because I was doing so much work and I wasn't being compensated for it. And I went to them and they were like, no, we don't have money to give you a raise. But the funny part about it was that I was a recruiter and I was the person writing checks to hire people. And anytime someone would say, oh, no, I can't take that job. You need to pay me $20,000 more. And I'd go to the manager and say, hey, that person says they need 20. They'd be like, you know what? Give them 25 just so they say yes. And I just asked you for a little bit of like a little 3% and you said no. So that's when I realized that it was up to me to create the wealth that I wanted in my life. That similar to happiness, I can't put that on anybody else. If I want a result, I have to figure it out myself. And that's what I did. I started figuring it out. And typically when you see stuff, about investing or when you go to normal personal finance, they're like, you need to have your no debt. You need to have a savings plan. You need to have all these things checked off. And for me at the time, I was just like, nah, I don't have any of that checked off, but I'm still going to be making this money. And I decided to start investing in the stock market. And I started with $100, y'all. And I had a lot of debt. I had credit card debt, social student loan debt. And in spite of that, I said, my future needs this. I need this right now mentally to know that the future is going to be better. And that's what I did. I started investing. And this was like 18 years ago.
So share your story. I hope I got the number right because I've been sharing it. Didn't I hear you say that you had like $40,000 in debt and you transferred it into a multi-million-dollar empire investment portfolio?
So, yes, it is a multi-million dollar investment portfolio, and it was not $40,000 in that. I was actually making $40,000 a year. Like a year.
Oh, that's what it
A
was. It was
year.
40,000. Whoops, I
I
gotta change it.
I was making 40K a year and I had 6 figures of debt. So there
Six
was
figures
no
of debt.
way for me to build out of that. There was no way, like when I calculated, if I took what I was making at $40,000 a year and tried to be debt free, it would have never happened, like
Okay.
ever. And I just thought negative zero and zero still equals zero. And so, what am I doing here? And that's when I was like, you know what? Let me put this debt aside and see how this money can actually be more valuable. So, how can I make my $40,000 a year have the same value as 65,000 or 75,000? Like, how can I give myself that raise? And that's really what changed. And so, I was able to take like my meager savings. I didn't even really save that much. I just put it all in the market. I had like an emergency fund and that was it. And after I kept on doing that, I started seeing like, yeah, I'm making money. Like this $10,000 that I eventually got to over like a couple of years of investing ended up turning into like 90,000. 90,000 turned into like 150,000. I took that money and I invested it into other assets that kind of kept on growing. So it happens. It's one of those things where if you're really committed and okay with making mistakes and learning from them, that's what I did.
So you're going to be presenting. So actually, next week I'm having a Chill and Build webinar series, and you actually inspired me on this because I've noticed a lot of folks are getting more people rather passively invest than to actively invest, and I get it. And now with the uncertainty in the market and the change in administration, it's just been a lot of activity going on, right? And so, and as I've been, putting together this series, what I kept seeing is like, okay, the wealthy people, they make their money really from investments, not really from working, right? The true generational wealth is through investments and through, strategizing and putting that together. And so that's why the series is called Chill and Build, because you could be chilling while you building. So you know what I mean? And so can you just give us a little tea? I'm gonna give a little tea in a minute, but I just want you to give some folks just a little tea on what they can expect next week.
Yes. And so I think for a lot of us, it's seeing is believing. And a lot of people hear, oh, this person has millions of dollars, but no one actually tells you this is how I got it. This is what I invested in. This is what I looked for. This is how I knew it could be an investment. And this is how it worked out, right? What was the interest rate? No one ever talks about what was the rate of return. And people don't realize how important that is, because if you don't understand your rate of return, then you don't understand when you're going to be financially free. You don't understand that. And so I have a really simple formula to show you what it's going to actually take to be financially free passively. And I'm going to show you behind the hood of my actual portfolio. And I'm going to show you how much I paid for some investments. And by just leaving them alone and letting them do what they got to do, how it actually became like 2x, 3x, and 4x. And I'm going to show you what I did with that money. Because I also think that's a part of the story. Like people don't realize that I bought my first house with my stock investments, and my credit was not good. But when they saw my brokerage account, they were like, "Oh, you know what? We don't need credit. You got your own money." And so I think seeing what people do with the money is really important because it'll inspire you to think about what you could do with yours when you get it.
So I heard you say 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. Of course, I know what that means, but for the folks who are listening who may not know what a 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, can you explain what that is?
And so 2x, it's really a multiplier. And so it means 2x means you doubled your money. 3x means you tripled your money. 4x means you quadrupled. And I don't know how to say what 5x actually means. I'm going to mess it up. So we just going to trust that you got the analogy. But what I mean to say is if you had put, $500, I got 1,000. If you, there are certain investments where I have put that 1,000 and it ended up becoming 3,000. And so I like to say that's the difference of free money. So I put in 1,000, I came out with 3,000. So I got $2,000 of free money. And so that's what those multipliers really means. It just means how much free money came back. That answer the question?
It did. It did. So I'm going to share the link for folks to join. It's absolutely free. Just check the show notes. Just click on the link so that way you can tune in on Monday, April 21st. So it's a 3-part series. So Ange will be speaking on Monday, April 21st at 7 p.m. And she's going to break down what she just mentioned. She's going to go behind the scenes and go behind the hood, and she's going to give you some strategies and some tactics, just to, really get you started in creating that wealth. And I think now people see it as more important than ever to really tap into it, and to help ease that uncertainty. And the last big recession in '08. I said, I was like, you know what? I missed it. I didn't buy any real estate where everybody's buying real estate. I was like, I'm not going to miss it. I'm not missing it. And then the next one was COVID. I was like, I bought a hotel. I didn't know. God was like, you said this, but I got something bigger for you. And so that's what happened in 2020. And so for the reason why I'm saying it is for my folks who are listening, you're like, dang it. I don't have this. I don't have that. Don't worry about what you don't have and focus on what you do have and focus on how you can multiply it. And so that's what next week's series will be about, to chill and, basically chill and build. A lot of people, they have that limited belief where they feel like that they can't do it because they don't think it's possible. Well, we're here to tell you that it is possible. Both of us, we come from different backgrounds, but similar backgrounds. And, we weren't born with silver spoons or, Rockefeller money or, owning the Biltmore, like the so that's what I mean by similar stories. And so we self-taught, self-learned a lot of mistakes, and we're here to help you all. So join us next week, April 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And is gonna give you the tea. Like I say, she's gonna share the tea. And then on Tuesday, I'm gonna share with y'all. She's gonna mostly talk about stocks because that's what she do. That's her jam. I'm gonna let her handle it. See, I learned to stay in my lane, okay? And then on Tuesday, I'm going to talk more about the different pathways of investing passively through real estate, right? And then on Wednesday, I'm going to talk about crowdfunding. So it's going to be 3 days of free information for you. Yes, it's free. I know people are like, oh, it is, need your time. So show up and make much information. So Ange, how can folks find you? How can folks connect with you?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'm at Happy Investor Method. And you can also just check us out online at happyinvestormethod.com. We do a lot of trainings. So make sure to come to the one on Monday with Davonne, because even though we do a lot of trainings right now, we're really focused on serving our community. And so I'm excited to serve with y'all. Make sure you follow on Happy Investor Method at Happy Investor Method, or you can check me out on LinkedIn too. I play there as well. And that's Ange Matthews.
You know what? I got to give you a little shameless plug real quick because I did mention this. So not only does Ange invest in stocks, she also she's a hotel investor and she's also a tech investor too. So several hotels in her investment belt. And not only that because sometimes people, they coach and they quote unquote, I'm putting in quotations, they quote unquote, they say they teach, but they really don't know what they're doing. They're just good at marketing. So they never really can produce the results that they claim that they can do. But Ange, actually, she walk it like she talk it like she walk it.
Damn.
Because she was able to, her students, they were able to build the investment portfolio to actually invest in some of these hotels that I was talking about. So she was able to get them prepared to become accredited investors, which we'll talk about, which is a net worth of $1 million or more, or income level of 200,000 or more, excluding your primary residence. So she was able to help with that through her teachings. I think she's an excellent teacher. Like I said, I sit in, I'm a part of the program, even though I'm a horrible student because I haven't showed up to class yet, but we'll talk about that at a later time. But I don't want you to be a student like me. I actually want you to show up. See, one thing about me, at least I don't complain that it's not nothing's happening because I didn't show up. But anyway, so make sure y'all tune in. I wanted to give Andrea a shameless plug because she's humble like I am and she doesn't brag. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you follow her. We will see you all next week. We will definitely share the link with you. I cannot wait to see you all doing my first ever Chill and Build webinar series on learn the art of passive investing. Thank you so much, Ange, for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So thank you all. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss the next session. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you all.
Thanks. See you soon. Bye.